Hi, my name's Emma and Happy New Year. So today I thought I'd do a recap of 2015 since it is the new year. It is now officially 2016, and I thought I'd just talk you through some of the movies that I watched and I really enjoyed last year. These aren't all horror movies, but hopefully it gives you a better idea of what kind of movies I like and some suggestions for what kind of movies you guys might like. So what better place to start than horror? My favorite horror movie of 2015 has to be Creep, and I expressed this in my review of Creep. So you can watch that if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but pretty much it's a movie about a guy who gets creeped on. I don't want to ruin anything. It's really good, it's really interesting, it's very fast paced, and it's very creepy. Another movie that I wanted to mention was The House at the End of Time, and this is a Venezuelan film, and for some reason this film just stuck with me. I'm not sure why. It's really original and it's really well thought out, so definitely check that out if you hadn't heard of it yet. Another film I really liked was Digging Up the Marrow, and this is from my 31 Days of Horror. I watched a movie every day in October and I did a vlog style review, and looking back I don't think I gave it the best score, but I think I gave it a fair score, and I really do think it's a horror fan's dream. For thrillers, I'd have to go with 2009's The Secret in Their Eyes. This is the original. There is a remake out that came out in December, American one. I have not seen it, but I really liked this version, which is also Venezuelan. This movie is really good, really captivating, really fast, and really clever, like I'm gonna say about every film on this list pretty much. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, and if you're into remakes, I'm sure the remake kind of touches on why it's such a good movie. Another movie that I've actually talked about before, and I pronounced it wrong when I talked about it before, it's called Ex Machina, and this one I also watched on my 31 Days of Horror. It's also a kind of a thriller about a guy that has to test this robot, and it poses the question to you, what really is humanity? And there's a lot you can take away from this film, so if you like to think and to dwell on films and think about their meanings and maybe even research them, this is definitely one for you. So the next films I want to talk about are dramas, and these aren't any normal dramas. They're really emotional dramas and really controversial in a way. Number one being Blue is the Warmest Color, which is a movie about relationships. It's about a lesbian relationship, or a woman who's discovering that she is gay, and she kind of has this relationship, this intense relationship with her first love. And it is brutal and it's honest, and I think it's the most honest relationship movie I've ever seen. It really shows people's insecurities and is really vulnerable. It will make you want to crawl into a ball and die, but it's good. Another kind of depressing movie that is about a woman trying to discover who she is Fish Tank, and I don't know, this movie might be a couple years old. It's so intense and it gets really brutal in some aspects of it, but it's pretty much about a girl, like a chavvy girl in England, and her struggle with trying to do what she wants to do, but she just gets caught up in a whole lot of bullshit, and you just feel for her, but you also want to slap her at the same time because she does some really stupid things and makes some really poor decisions. But in the end, it's pretty heart-wrenching, and I definitely recommend it if you want to go on this crazy roller coaster, because it will take you places you don't think it will go. A newer drama that I watched is called True Story, and this is the one with Jonah Hill and James Franco. I watched this one not too long ago and it was amazing. I mean, I love true crime and I know there's some truth to this story. It's based on a true story, so take it for what it is. But it's about a guy who has just killed his family, and he uses the name of this journalist when they capture him, and then it's about the relationship between Jonah and James Franco. James Franco is the guy who's on trial, and Jonah Hill is the journalist, and it is crazy and it's got some really cool messages in there. If you want like a good reveal, it's definitely there. There's some hidden winks, I'd like to say. Really, really good. I really recommend it, especially for anyone who's like a super huge movie buff and likes, you know, the blockbusters. This is definitely for you. The last movie I want to talk about is a documentary, and my favorite documentary I saw all year is Amy, and it's obviously about Amy Winehouse. This documentary is the best documentary I've ever seen, and I watch a lot of documentaries. This is amazing. The way it's put together, you think it's kind of shallow. They match up her lyrics with things that are going on in her life, and you're like, oh, that makes sense now, this, that, and then it just goes dark, and then it goes darker, then it goes deeper, and I couldn't stop thinking about this movie for probably a month after I saw it. Every single day I woke up and I thought about this film. I love it, and it made me appreciate Amy Winehouse even more. I love this film, and I would recommend it to anyone ever, and I do. I recommend it to people on the street. For TV shows, we binged on Dexter, Dean and I, towards the end of the year, and we watched from the start to the end, and I loved it. I love Michael C. Hall, and I just really liked it. I mean, towards the end, yeah, it does go downhill, but every other part of it really had me, and I feel like everyone watches Dexter and they feel like they can kind of relate in a little way. They feel like a little bit of them is numb and they don't really fit in, and I felt really like I could relate to Dexter, and I think that's the purpose, and that's probably why it's so successful. Though people aren't as dark as Dexter, they can kind of relate to him in a little way, and I think that's genius. Another show I really liked was Scream Queens. I didn't really like the fact that I watched one episode a week. I wish I just waited and watched it all at the end, but it was impossible to miss all these spoilers, so I kind of just had to go week to week. It would have been better altogether because it is a quite intense and complex storyline. It doesn't sound like it is, but there's just people here and there, and I'm like, oh, did we figure out this? I don't even know who the Red Devil, what is... I couldn't remember what I was thinking last week, and it would have been great to watch it all in a block, and maybe I'll go back and do that. But I thought the comedy is funny. I really like Emma Roberts, obviously, and yeah, I just thought it was cool. Speaking of Emma Roberts, Freak Show also ended at the start of 2015, so I'm gonna classify that as 2015. I really liked Freak Show. Obviously, I'm talking about American Horror Story. I didn't really like it at the start, but towards the end, it had some amazing heart-wrenching moments, and I think off the top of my head, I think it's episode 9, which is about Pip, which is one of the characters that I want to say has a mental disability, and the backstory of her just made me die. I can't. It's so sad. And this one also made it tie into Asylum. Obviously, I love Dandy Mott as well, and you guys probably know this. I have an extreme love for him and his character. He's just so into himself. He's so Yeezus. He's everything a psychopath I wish I could be. I didn't really like the twins, or some other aspects weren't amazing, but there's a few characters in there that I really, really liked, and I really liked the storyline. It was a lot deeper, I feel, than The Hotel. I think that would probably be my last good season of American Horror Story. Hopefully at the end of this year, they'll bring out something that will surprise me again. I know they're signed on for 2 more seasons, but that was definitely a show I enjoyed. So that's a quick roundup of a lot of films that I liked from 2015. I might have missed a few because I kind of started jotting them down towards the end of the year, but I think I covered the main ones. Let me know down below what your favorite film of 2015 was. It can be new, it can be old. Just let me know. I'd really like to check it out, and tell me why it was your favorite. That would be great. And I hope you guys are having a great new year, and I hope you had a great New Year's Eve, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay spooky. Bye.